Okay, guys, it's here. We have been waiting for this for a long time. But is it good or not? Mixed feeling about Bethesda, but fingers crossed, I'm feeling good about this one. I'm sorry, I might not be able to reply the chat as fast as I can, but I will do my best. It took me like 3 hours to stabilize my bitrate, so I appreciate your patience. And yeah, my internet is not doing well. And I didn't update my graphic card. Right. Let's get to it. 1000 star system awaits. Yes.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, I work in the Stardock. Except, with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium.
Where is my
Hell,
body?
after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hugs now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Okay, let's see what we've got. How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestyle Collective space? Fewer legs. A job like this in the United Colonies? Free of red tape. Look at this one over here. Calvert! No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up! Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Yeah, okay.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
You think we'll be done here soon? Now I hear this is the last dig. Be glad when we're off this rock.
What are you waiting for? Dig.
I'll dig, I'll dig.
How
Looks-
they sucker you to join? Fall for the fancy pamphlets?
Yeah.
I'm busy.
At least they
What else,
didn't
Father?
drop me in a goddamn pot. What are we getting? Beryllium? Isn't that the material that was in the TV show Discovery?
You're ready, boss. Get back up here.
We got a few more digs to go before I feel like talking to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Take care of
Come
yourself
on.
out there.
It's time. You're with me.
And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Standard reading of clean break. Shutting down.
Let's go! Hella, get the readings.
What just happened?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Problem?
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly.
Where
That's
is
what I
my
was told
body?
anyway.
My
Okay,
helmet?
now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax.
My light?
Just another job. Come on.
We're getting
Jesus.
close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Why me? Fine. Which button should I press to turn on my body?
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
Send in the rookie.
Do you see anything?
Yeah. ATM deposit. But where's the gravity? It's too loud. Where is the gravity? Whoa. It's constantly loading shaders.
Dusty, snap out of it.
Where the hell am
Hey, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
And here we start character creation. Wow. First game ever I see the default character looks so cool. Personal records. Oh, these are presets, huh? Wow, the presets are really cute. Oh my god, I'm gonna spend a few days on the creator. Feels like someone upgraded the RAM of those Fallout 4, you know, computers. Hmm. Can we personalize things? Damn, the quality is crazy. Body muscularity. Thin. So weird. Can we zoom? Interesting. Damn it. Hmm. Damn you, I can't change it. I mean, zoom out a little bit. Just a little bit. I wonder if we can change this later. Just wanna start. Email hers. Jesus. Do you have purple? The definition of iris is crazy. No blue, no purple. Jesus. Oh my god, there is an extra layer here. No, guys, this is gonna take like forever if I wanna create a character I want. So let's just start with something and then see what's going on. I will create another character later. Holy moly. Whatever. Beast Hunter. Killer. Blah blah blah. Bouncer, bounty hunter, chef, combat. Jesus, cybernetics. Yep, we are playing Skyrim. Fitness. Lasers. Let's go with this one. No idea what they're about. Traits. You are volunteered for the controversial experiment that combines alien and human DNA. No, no. Increased health and oxygen, but healing and food items aren't as effective. Oh my god. Wanted. Terra firma. You're never reclaimed. Space. Your body has become acclimated to space. Health and oxygen. When in space, but decrease when on surface can be combined. Jesus. You want a luxurious, customizable house and a peaceful. Well, if I did, I was not mining. It's paid weekly. Then you are deeply connected to the feelings of others performing actions your companion likes. But performing actions they don't like have precise opposite. You're a people person, exerting yourself. Useless action when adventuring with human companions, but more when adventuring alone. Jesus. Restart. Access to special freestyle collective dialogue options and better reports from some missions given by the faction, but crime bounty towards the other faction great increase can't be combined now. Hero worshipped. You've earned the attention of annoying, adoring fan. Yeah, you really need your alone time. Exerting yourself uses attention, but when you attention. It doesn't make any sense. What's the logic behind this? Introvert or empath? What kind of mechanic makes you use less oxygen while you are with friends and more if you are alone, or vice versa? It doesn't make any sense. Ugh. They've gone through to make all this beautiful stuff and they didn't get a good script writer. Is that it? Kid stuff. Your parents are alive and well. You can visit them at their home, but you will automatically send 2% credit home every week. Neon Street Rat. You grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogues and better rewards for some missions on Neon. Jesus. Raised Enlightened. You grew up as a member of Enlightened. So, faction. Raised universal. These are religious. Spaced. Okay, this one actually makes sense. Taskmaster, occasionally if your crew trains a ship system, that system will automatically repair itself full health whenever it's damaged below 50 hours. Twice as much damage. Someone put a price on your head and word has spread. Occasionally art mercenaries usual. But being cornered gives you an edge when your health is low. None of these traits make any sense. I don't like any of them. Seriously, I can't skip this. Oh, optional. This is interesting. So let's see. Volunteered for this. So as a result, but healing food and item aren't effective. No. No. Jesus. Gain access to special United colonies dialogue, but better reward. Some missions, however, crime bounty by the other factions greatly increased, can't be combined. So these are factions. Taskmaster, no. Spaced, no. Religion, introvert, hero worshipped. I have no idea. You've earned the attention of annoying you show up randomly and just jabber at you in criticism. On the plus side, you'll join your ship's crew. I think this one is from Fallout. No thank you. Uh, Seriously. No. Okay. I don't understand the rest. Let's go.
You were one of the weirdest hires I've ever had. From hacking computers to digging for minerals. You're lucky our turnover rate is so high. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way, then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened? It's our payday, that's what. Sooner we get it off our hands, the sooner it isn't our problem anymore.
What's with the slow move?
Huh. Well, you passed out, that's for sure. Everything else, probably just your brain playing tricks. Either way, we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... Speak of the devil.
I think it about it.
Our constellation contact is on approach.
How
Wait,
can I
the
walk?
Explorers group? I thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke.
I really need
You're
to
just
make
too
character.
young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Half the crew doesn't believe Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Seriously. Controls, schematics, bindings. Sprint jump. Oh my god, they don't have walk, so I don't care.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does
Controller.
that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently.
Whoa, you don't look good.
No, I don't. Oh my god, this is the slowest I can go.
All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Uh, Select the area in the lower right. Lower right. I didn't need it before. Wow. Here we are.
Where are you in? In a discovery class? That ship's older than this moon.
Nice.
Barrett?
Man,
Been a long time.
yes it has. That mine on Bentley, right?
Kazal, hellhole, like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
That right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal. And no Barrett. Not cool. He passed out after the extraction. Woke up saying all kinds of nonsense.
Is that right, cowboy? Went on a trip, huh? Well, you could say that the infinite possibilities of the universe are full of everything but coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
I really thought I lost her.
Barrett?
cover. Come on! We can take them!
This looks like a decent. Yes, yes. This is a standard procedure with Bethesda games. Loot. The motion blur is annoying. Setting. Display. Select motion blur off. Vertical sync off. Finally, I hate blur. I will be right with you. I will take your ship.
Was being followed every time.
What's with this?
Now that
This
was
thing?
some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now.
Yeah.
You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there?
No.
Well, that's us. That's where we go.
What a stupid answer.
Hey, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but we don't exactly know what the artifact might have done to your head, and Constellation is really the only group qualified to help.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.
Just like that. I am not following the logic.
Now that we've been attacked, we've got to pack up and move on. Argos will come for the rest of us. You get going.
What if I say no?
Don't you get it? You don't have a job here anymore. You're with those explorers now. Like it or not. Just go, all right? Figure out what happened to you when you touched that rock.
Well, none of that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Yeah, I should. I would love to have that in real life. This teasing is killing
Hey,
me.
look at that. The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions?
Why there is teasing? Is that a question? Hold on.
They're just following the loot, like pirates do. And I have something of a reputation as a loot collector. Thinking it over? Good instinct. They're just following the loot, like pirates do. And I have something of a reputation as a loot collector. What? Oh, sorry. Thought you said something.
Yeah.
That, my friend, is the million credit question. And Constellation can find the answer. With your help. Hey, waiting on you.
Yeah. Keep waiting.
See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown, charting the vastness of space. Without us, the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out.
Okay, could you wait a bit? Yeah, damn it, the bitrate. Jesus. I cannot stabilize the bitrate, the bitrate, the bitrate. 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 Sorry guys, I've been trying so hard to stabilize the bitrate. But no luck. Seems I am not connected at all. Why? Good question. Come on. Jesus. Oh. I mean, today of all days to get internet problem. I mean, I always have internet problem. It's nothing new, but today it's just a no-go situation. Oh, God. Hmm. Interesting. Jesus. You cannot. Maybe you can. But with this bitrate, it's disgraceful.
Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it a loan. Vasco will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had. Come on. You really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you? Because if you didn't notice, we've all been handling it since with no problem. The way I see it, Constellation needs that artifact, but they also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now. And Vasco, don't let him break my ship.
Fine.
We're still in one piece. Oh, God.
I'm gonna throw up. Hey, I don't know how you kept your cool back there.
I'll keep wondering. My ship. Or not my ship.
Captain Neo, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship.
Hang on. Auto save 305, 304. I'm gonna load. I really need to hear that. It actually pronounced my name per as usual for any Bethesda games. I really did miss that. Please let me stream stable a little bit right now. From a small time, no one cares about a sand in the universe miner to captain. Logic has lost all meaning, guys. Simply all meaning. I mean, at least in Cyberpunk, you get a backstory. Stuff makes sense as short as it is.
Captain Neo, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
Captain Neo. Hell yeah, I like the sound of that. Yummy. Digipic. Yes. Container of cereal. I like the physics. Time for this. Come on. Where's that dumb robot? I wanna put him on top of it. Alright. I can see there are.
You know the drill, Vasco. Protocol Indigo means no deviations, no distractions, no dalliances, in short, no fun. Unless, as strictly defined by Sarah, said deviations, distractions, and dalliances are completely necessary in getting this fine vessel, the Discovery-class Starship Frontier, back home in one piece. I guess I'm still technically borrowing it from Constellation, even if I have no intention of actually giving it back.
I can already see 1 billion terabytes of mods for this game coming. Kitchen. Too bad there are no actual hand, using your hand. No more galactic coffee mug. Wow, this looks cool. Oh my god. Where is the bridge? Oh, nice. Are those dummies still standing there?
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
Time to get out of here. And we have a liftoff. I don't like this. What's it called? Gimbaled mode?
Now that we are in orbit, it might be wise to test all controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure. I can step you through the entire process, or if you're already an experienced pilot, just power up all the systems, and we'll be on our way.
Hold left alt and use.
Each system on a ship requires power. Allocating power is under your direct control. Let's go over the engines. Engines control our maximum speed. Try increasing and decreasing our relative velocity. A ship's engine has a sweet spot for better handling during turns. Draw your attention to the HUD. You'll notice a speed indicator in the lower left with a gauge that goes up and down as you adjust the throttle. Try to center the gauge so that it lines up with the center of the vertical bars to its right. Boosts can be engaged for temporary bursts of speed.
Bye.
Let's turn our attention to the shields. Try adjusting power to the shields. Notice more power increases their strength. Shields protect the ship from hull damage. Without a hull, but be vaporized. Shield health is displayed in the lower right. Hull damage is below it. You've proven an adequate pilot. Are you familiar with ship combat tactics? Because that's a Crimson Fleet ship bringing its weapons to bear. We will need to disable their shields. Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective. If you can keep the enemy ship centered on the HUD, we can lock in to fire a home missile.
Aren't you from that explorers group? Don't they teach you to fly?
The enemy shields are down, Captain. Ballistic weaponry excels at damaging the hull once shields are offline.
Bye.
Congratulations on surviving your first Starship assault, Captain. We should search the wreckage for spare parts and other salvage. You will need to fly close to it before we can access the remains. Two more Crimson Fleet ships are jumping into our location, Captain.
They got the gram drive! I'm taking you down! Holding! Grab shot! Not like
The amount of Crimson Fleet hostility has been far more than anticipated. At this rate, the odds of continual assault from their ships are high enough to jeopardize our mission. In short, they are after the frontier and will not stop. We will need to deal with the local Crimson Fleet captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Crete, a perfect staging area for pirates. surface.
Starman. Okay. Rotate until create research. Wow, everything is loading. No actual travel. No. 90% of the fun of a space game is traveling. I mean, not 90, maybe 40. This is so uncool.
On out, Captain.
Wow, graphic blows my mind. But no actual planetary entry or exit or even a space travel. Everything just happens. Why? No push switches, no whatever. But look at the graphic. It puts Star Citizen to shame. Exit the ship. This game needs like a ton of patches.
Captain Neo, Protocol Indigo dictates that I am to return to the Lodge with no deviations. We are here to stop the Crimson Fleet from pursuit. Nothing more. I have often asked Barrett that same question at various times, and about various individuals that wanted to cause us harm. The most likely answer is that Barrett personally insulted him, typically by continuing to live, usually after escaping from certain death, and often with an object multiple people wanted.
Okay, let me get this straight. We are in the year 2337 or something. Yet, a stupid AI cannot talk normally. It did it again. I was not sure it was possible.
Constellation is an explorers society founded over 50 years ago with the mission of seeking out the unknown. Members often engage in expeditions in small groups, typically 1 or 2 people, or, like Barrett and myself, 1 person and 1 robot. The membership is intentionally limited and small. Should you join Constellation yourself, you will be the 10th active member.
You do realize that this kind of talking actually makes you confused and not understand what the hell the bot's saying? I mean, for the love of God, Siri or other bots talk more fluent than this piece of junk. I don't give a damn. I don't want to talk to you. You make my head hurt. Inventory. Did I pick any good weapons? Where should we go? Inventory. Let's do something about... Just awesome. Favorite drop, not key binding. Can I keybind weapons? Inspect, sort, favorite. Okay, let's say 2, 1. Eight. Six. Oh, how big is the map? Stupidly small. Return, master mission. Can't place a marker. Oh, Jesus. Silver. Iron.
Commencing combat. Of enemy has dropped unexpectedly. Begin search protocol. I believe you would consider this victory cause for celebration.
I can't land my ship anywhere I like. How's this slow walk? No? Really? Why not? At least the Star Wars, what was that called? Outlaws. You actually fly and land wherever you like. I think. As beautiful as it looks, it feels like matte, static. I can't explain it. No, bye.
Under the same roof, they are typically unscrupulous and violent.
Vacuum tape. Interesting. Oh, yes, loading.
colony's markings, but we are in Freestar Collective space. It then stands to reason that this was once a secret UC facility.
What is going on?
Captain, the enemy is here. It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
It's a shame, ain't it? What's that furious whatever that was? Oh, nice. It's a 1971 shotgun. Oh my god, this game is gonna be the end of me. Well, 9, why the hell not? The weirdest thing. 9. Oh look, it has that. Jesus Christ, Red Dead has a better UI for. I don't know. I am speechless, actually. Because what? Detected? Are we gonna make deal?
You gotta be kidding me. The
Yep.
Frontier has a new captain? You working with Barrett, or did you pry the ship keys out of his cold, dead hands?
Why do you care?
We don't have a problem with Barrett. We want that ship, the Frontier. If you're the captain of it now, that means we're after you. Oh, no. You see, maybe your colleague Barrett didn't tell you, but there's a bit of a legend surrounding that ship. That constellation keeps treasure hidden in the cargo bays, the loot from 100 planets, and it's going to be ours.
That statement is partially correct. The Frontier has been to many planets and moons, but the only things held in the cargo bays are spare parts, dust, desiccated food particles, and a variety of species of ant.
I don't care what kind of lies Barrett programmed that robot to say. We're taking that ship. You're not talking us out of this score.
To persuade a person, look at the size of the, like, quote-unquote tutorial, whatever, screen. Jesus Christ. I mean, I thought I make stupid content. To persuade a person, you need to make successful choices. Choices can range from kind words to distractions to threats. Each choice has a difficulty. The higher the difficulty, the greater the chance the choice fails. Well, you could have phrased it better, like, the higher the difficulty, the lower the difficulty, the easier. I mean, why go with negative sentencing? I'm nitpicking. But more points you'll earn when you succeed. I see why they made a negative statement. So that they were trying to emphasize that if you go to the hard way, the blood and tear and sweat, you earn something. You have a limited number of choices you can make, but you can never fail if your last choice is succeeded. Alright, let's see. What does this plus means? Are you kidding me? These pirates are standing right in front of me, playing a mini game of conversation with me in the year of our Lord 2023 and a half. I need a stiff drink. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. What the hell? Yes, you stand there. I can keep you here looking at me in perpetuity until electricity goes out. This is just weird. I mean, on one hand, there are games that keep telling you move it, like Cyberpunk, for example, or Red Dead. While you are in the middle of the dialogue and you say nothing, they keep nagging you. Are you dead? Are you alive? Are you talking? Are you still there? Say something. Shut up. Or the other side of the spectrum is like this, a mini game. Everything is standing still until this guy plays a mini game with me. This is infuriating. I think my generation, I mean, it's not even having high standards, it's just bad design. Any sane person would think this is weird and not cool. The point of stupidity. I mean, if I had the means, I am 100% sure I could make a better game than a big major studio like Bethesda. Yeah, it's easy to claim, but I am sure I can. I pretty much like the dialogue choices in Cyberpunk, as rudimentary as they are. At least the choices in dialogue depends on your skill level. To be successful in persuasion, like if you have a high tech or high blah blah blah, you can persuade someone from not doing something or doing something, like body power or intelligence level, stuff like that. But this is just ridiculous. And I love the Red Dead one. It doesn't need anything, no points, no nothing. It's too organic. I love it. And if you take your long, sweet time, an attack will ensue. In Red Dead, you can get into a showdown and stalemate in conversation. But if you take too long, AI will start engaging you, the NPC or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, this guy's gonna stand here until I make my choice. Either I'm gonna pick +1 or +3. My intelligence is cursing me right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking for 5 minutes.
So you got past a few rooks. Who cares? I'm not falling for that. Your ship is loaded, and we want it. They aren't? You sure? I'm ready when you are. I've heard enough out of you. Kill them!
Barrett and the Crimson Fleet have something of a history. They always assume. Captain Neo. To reach the lodge, we must jump to the planet Jemison in the Alpha Centauri system, and then land in the city of New Atlantis. Do not worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
Starship Frontier, this is United Colony secured. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
I might create a female character.
Hey, Bosco! What, no Barrett? Let me guess. Protocol Indigo again? And here's your new captain. My crew can take a look at your ship. And you can stop by the Trade Authority kiosk if you need to offload some cargo. Okay, no problem.
W0, what does that mean? Shield damage is 6. Doesn't show me the current one. So this is laser. So we should go with laser. $1,000. How much do I have? Your credit's 9,000. This cannon is a lot more expensive. Fire rate. Hull damage 936. Why that expensive one is... Yeah, rate of fire 6 36. So 6 multiplied by 9. That's like 56. Fine. Missile launcher. Range 4,000 meter. $47. Expensive. Shield generator. Mass. No idea what that means. Grav drive. Less mobility. Stellar reactor.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
No. Galileo. Weird design. Responder. Crazy weird design. Kefir. No. Gladius. It copy paste. Shield breaker. How much? Seriously, this is so cheap. Oh, fine.
I would try to viewport. It'll be on your left once you get into the plaza. Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Okay, no problems there. That looks good.
I can assure you this unprovoked attack on a United Colonies research facility will not go unanswered. We'll get you settled into your new assignments as soon as possible. For you, Bobby, that includes meeting your new foster parent.
My parents aren't dead. They just took a different shuttle. I'll see them when they get here.
Oh, well, of course, that's sure possible. We'll just...
Helena Chambers, ID SSCOM 1327 HCHA. I was the station administrator. I'll need to report to Mast ASAP for a full debrief. My treatment thus far has been entirely unacceptable.
Any authority you had was forfeit the moment House Faroon zealots breached the station's perimeter, and you failed to initiate proper evacuation protocols. Thank you for your service. We'll find you a new position commensurate with your experience. And Mr. Bosch, let me just say how honored I am to meet you. By all accounts, you're the only person.
I'm just glad I still remember my flight bases. It had been a while. So was shooting a gun.
I read all about New Atlantis. So cool! Is it true the Nat train goes 5,000 miles an hour? Or that citizens get special discounts? Or that the whole city celebrates when it's your birthday? Mine's June 11th, by the way. My parents took me to Aquila City last year. It kinda smells. But I don't smell anything here.
No, yes, no, and I will certainly mark June 11th on my calendar. As for Aquila City, well, the air purifiers here in New Atlantis are state-of-the-art.
Ugh, Aquila City? Oh, don't even get me started on those simpletons.
A little unfair, don't you think? 3-star Rangers helped me out quite a bit a couple years back. Got ambushed by spacers near Narion. They assisted, no questions asked. Even helped with some repairs so I could do an emergency jump home. Good people.
In any event, you all must be exhausted. Just give me a moment to coordinate some details with security.
Hi.
May I help you?
I'm really rather busy.
Guess you caught some of that, huh? The
galaxy is at peace and somehow seems more dangerous than ever. Spacers, House Varun, Crimson Fleet, everyone trying to grab their piece. What happened to the early days, huh? When we just float through the stars and dream. Well now, you don't know how glad I am to hear you say that. I'm right here with you, my friend. How can you not look up to the cosmos and just be overwhelmed by its beauty? So much possibility, so much hope, even despite recent events.
I am overwhelmed that there is no planetary entry, or exit for that matter.
Ricardo Bosch. I was the lead researcher on the station that got attacked.
Spaniard.
It was business as usual until those House Varun crazies swarmed in.
With the mustache to
spouting
go
their
with it.
scripture, or whatever it was.
So generic.
The Marines were overwhelmed. Honestly, I'm just lucky to... Now...
Shut up.
Really? You must have been hiding under a moon rock your whole life.
Insult.
They're basically they're a different beast than the Crimson Fleet. Generally speaking, pirates want your stuff, so they can occasionally be reasoned with. Spacers, though, they tend to shoot first and ask questions never. Not what, who. How to describe House Varun?
Better
Faction,
not.
Cult, whatever you want to call them. They believe in some sort of celestial deity called the Great Serpent. Real nightmare, if you... About 100 years back, they picked a fight with pretty much everyone in the settled systems. I guess your school never covered the Serpent's Crusade, huh? You meet those guys, you run. You understand me?
I never run.
Yep, that I have. Had to dump a load of cargo just last year. Microscopes. Can you believe that? Guess you can sell anything these days.
Oh,
Pirates are a tricky lot. In space, they're all about the hit and run. They jump in, steal your stuff, and get out of there fast. Keep your cool, and you can generally talk your way out of it, so long as you're not too attached to your valuables. Stumble upon them planetside, though, and their trigger fingers get much itchier.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Hey, kid. When I see you, I think this game is more family-friendly than I like.
I've never been in a battle before. Everyone kept telling me to keep my eyes closed, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're running. At first, I thought it was ecliptic mercenaries shooting at us. Is that really an appropriate thing to say to a child?
I don't give a damn.
Anyway, I'm fine now. I hope my parents don't take too long getting here.
Yeah,
may I help
look
you?
That.
Yeah, it was like, snakes and serpents will eat you all, rah, the stars will squeeze you, rah, or something like that. I think they need psychiatric help.
Or mental. Or they're the same thing.
When it comes to Ecliptic, I know everything. It's not like it's a secret. They're mercenaries, so they work for money. And it's like, for enough money, they'll do anything. I've heard a couple of SSNN stories about them. My dad says they're horrible. Like they can pretend they're working for someone and it's official, so they do anything they want.
Yet you are telling me you should not talk that way to a kid. Where is the puke bag?
Keep it moving.
What? Not now.
Whatever.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
doctor. A doctor? Mothers, am I right?
Just citizen. Generic. No name, no nothing.
Oh, hello.
This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District.
Please dazzle me. Jesus.
Radcliffe even need to be involved?
President Abeyo wants to foster relations, not fracture them. Keep up.
We'll make sure she knows now.
Good. I'll see you at the 11:30 then. I have somewhere to be. You understand.
I think you've got me mistaken for someone else.
Yes, I'm mistaking you to an actual person.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
Oh, I thought they are gonna be here, like sitting there, lying over. Dumbass. Let's load.
Captain Neo.
But
Everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now. He hopes you'll make this place your home.
Oh, please. Ridiculous. Easiest bet I'll ever win.
We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
do we?
Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
You first. Would you care to tell me why there is an audio desync in the game?
Displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
I wish there was a walk speed adjustment. The end of Earth?
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The effort and planning it must have taken to evacuate literally the entire planet. Can you imagine? The logistics alone must have been mind-boggling.
Yes. I wonder if they get them all, or this is just a show.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
The result of the Centaurus Proclamation has always left me torn. So much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
Independence? Definitely. It's better than a single autocracy.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Jinan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade.
I am not a fan of theocracy, if I am being honest.
The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, After the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their Serpent God. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Varun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs. Even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
The colony war was a horrible conflict that irreparably wounded the settled systems. There were times I felt that it would never end.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
Holy hell, are these UCs, you know, whatever?
This thing's like an artist's rendition, right? No animal can be this ugly in real life. All 4 of my last science papers have been on terramorphs. No one knows how they move between planets. I wonder if they can grav jump or something.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
I'm sure it is. So they nuked it. Interesting. A lot is going on in this universe.
After the devastation wrought by the colony war, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
I was a strong supporter of the Armistice. All of the terrible weapons that both sides used against one another. It had to end.
That says computer expertise in your file, along with smiley faces. UC security system regime being hacked.
The Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. No one is born a United Colonies citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls mean citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
Right, right. Not a big fan. Don't care about citizenship, just credits. For now, let's see what comes of it. This looks like a cool ship. This is even better.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
I've spent a fair bit of time in simulators just like these. They're startlingly realistic. Have fun.
Thanks.
Don't be stupid. Stop now.
What?
UC security. You're under arrest.
What?
I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. I've been authorized to inform you that you're being transferred to the UC Vigilance. You'll find out more when you get there. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to divulge any additional information. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility and will be met with aggressive force.
Is it because I took the coffee?
Have it your way.
This is murder! You're on your own!
This is it.
I didn't do it. Seriously? Was it because the coffee?
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
I've spent a fair bit of time in simulators just like these. They're startlingly realistic. Have fun.
Jesus, for a coffee?
This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
Driver is active.
my mouse is sticking. What the hell? This is messed up. Why can't lock on?
At least try to defeat us.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand